Well, it's a Friday night, and you are right here inside the KRP Broadcasting Studios. I am Kevin Pillow, and welcome to another edition of the Desert Sands Educational Foundation halftime show. and games that have just gone to the half. We want to welcome in our fans from Palm Springs High School and Desert Christian and Desert Mirage. Those games have all gone to the half, and we'll get those updates for you here in just a moment. We'll have the bottom line ticker going for you. So again, welcome to those who are just joining us. Of course, at the half, Braden Hapner with the interception at the goal line preserves a 13-7 lead for Palm Springs at the half on the road against Eisenhower. We'll try to get some stats for you here in just a moment. We are taking a live look in at La Quinta and Coachella Valley, a cross-town matchup, a cross-league, interleague matchup, with the way, whatever you want to say it. Again, I'm Kevin Pillow, the host of Prep Sportsnet. It's a platform, but it's also a show that might be making its triumphant return to the airwaves here in the Coachella Valley. We were hoping to be joined by our good friend Sean Webb, of course, of the Desert Sands Educational Foundation, in which this halftime show is named after. Of course, you can always hit him up on Twitter at Desert Weber, and you can get more information about the Desert Sands Educational Foundation. Of course, we also recommend that if you're going to tweet about the show, if you want to send us information about games going on around the Coachella Valley, use the hashtag DSEF, and of course, use the at symbol at PrepSports_net. So games going on right now. Let's get you up to date, and we'll try to get you a live look in here in just a moment at games still going on around the Coachella Valley. Right now, the mighty Arabs of Coachella Valley lead La Quinta High School 20-14. That is late in the second quarter. We mentioned just a moment ago that the Conquerors of Desert Christian are at the half in their matchup with Desert Mirage, another interleague matchup for the Coachella Valley. And let's see, that game, like I said, 7-0. A bit of a back and forth, a bit of a defensive struggle in that matchup. We mentioned also Palm Springs 13-7 at the half, leading Eisenhower, a long-time opponent for a lot of the Coachella Valley schools, is Eisenhower High School out of Riverside. That game, again, just gone to the half. Let's take a look at the updates from the Desert Sun. I want to thank our friends at the Desert Sun for all of their updates and all that they do out there, braving the extreme heat out there in the Coachella Valley and around the Southland. And welcome in our friends from Palm Desert High School, as that game now has officially gone to the half. It is 6-0 in favor of the Aztecs against Central Union High School down in the Imperial Valley. And so we'll keep you up to date on the ticker there on the bottom. And we are going to do a live look in here in just a moment, as soon as I can get this queued up here from La Quinta High School. So bear with us here. Technology sometimes just doesn't want to cooperate. I don't know why. But take a look at some of the other scores. Aquinas up on Xavier Prep. That game nearing the half. That game, as you saw there on the bottom, 15-6. Xavier Prep really trying to get something going. Had a really kind of a lackluster game and last week. So see if they can bounce back this week. They are trailing Aquinas again, 15-6. Rancho Mirage trying to get on the winning ways. They are tied 21-21 with Tahquitz. I talked with one of the coaches from Hemet High School last week at Indio, and we'll talk about the Rajas here in just a moment. But Hemet, one of the Hemet coaches told me that this might be the breakout year for the Hemet Valley area. Hemet's got a strong team. We saw that against the Rajas last week. we saw Hemet West Valley really take it to Cathedral City, who's in a bye week this week, and now we see Tahquitz doing quite well tonight against Rancho Mirage. Paris leads Desert Hot Springs 14-8. Indio, their game was canceled against Indian Springs of San Bernardino. No word on if there will be a makeup game, but due to COVID-19 protocols, I think that game is just going to be a wash for the year. It's a non-league game. No score yet reported from Canyon Springs and Yucca Valley, and 29 Palms and Victor Valley. Don't let that confuse you. I for a second there thought that we were looking at the other Bell game a little early this year. So, but that's not the case. So let's take a look in just a moment here. I want to say thank you to our friends from the National Federation of High School Sports for giving us a little look-see at the stream there. Again, the score is inaccurate. This game we're doing a live look-in right now is La Quinta and Coachella Valley. It is 20-14. And if you're at the game streaming this, of course, we know that it is probably a little behind schedule or a little behind as usually the stream kind of does. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that game for you. Have a quick look. See, give me 1 second here. We'll give you full screen. So yeah, busy night here in the Coachella Valley. And again, I'm Kevin Pillow at Prep Sportsnet. You can also follow me at Voice of Reason 23 on all social media platforms, if you so choose. Want to say hello to our friends from CoachellaValley.com. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being a part of our Friday Night Lights. And speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to, again, we talk about the brave men and women of the media out there braving the sidelines. Of course, these amazing athletes giving up their Friday night to play under those beautiful Friday night lights. But it has been an extreme heat warning all day today. But I want to say thank you to the brave men and women of the sports media departments out there braving the heat, doing quite well, covering these young men, young women in uniform on the field of football. Thanks to our friends at Desert Sun. Of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't thank our friends at KSQ and the best local sports show. And of course, Friday Night Lights on NBC Palm Springs, giving a little shout out to them as well. This is the Desert Sands Educational Foundation halftime show, hashtag DSEF halftime. And we're hoping we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, being the host of Prep Sports Net and what that means. It's a show that I used to host some many years ago, and we talked with high school athletes and coaches and whatnot. So we're hoping to bring that back, and we are working on bringing that show back here in the near future. I know Sean Webb and I have been in discussion bringing that back. I know a lot of people have been asking to have that back and get a little bit more just sit down, more discussions with these athletes and get to know them. So hopefully we can do that a little bit throughout this year. So take a look at some of the other games going on and see if we can get a live look in some of these other games. I'm trying to get the Xavier Prep game. Let's see if we can bring that up here just a moment, again, with the National Federation of High School Sports websites being that game has now gone to the half. So we can update that score. It is, don't think that is correct. It's saying 22-2. I think they may have added a point or two to the wrong side. So we're going to change that here and just say right now temporarily that game has gone to the half. Xavier and Aquinas. So I want to say hello and welcome our Xavier Prep fans. We were getting up there. The ticker on the bottom had the score reversed. I want to apologize. It is Xavier 6, Aquinas 15. So that is what we're being told from our friends at the Desert Sun. So again, welcoming our friends from Xavier Prep here to the Desert Sands Educational Foundation halftime show. And so I was, like I said, we were going to go live to a live look in of that game, but since that's at the half, nothing there much to look at. Shadow Hills last night lost to Great Oak 35-0 after they beat Citrus Hill last week 36-0. The worst loss they've had since the 2020 season. I think that coming from the Desert Sun, I think they mean the I don't know if they mean the pandemic spring season, which I guess counts as the 2020 season, or if they mean the 2019 season. Games coming up, big key games coming up here in the next couple of weeks. We got league play opening up for the Desert Valley League next week. Cathedral City, next week as Indio comes back to town, take on Desert Mirage. Of course, we mentioned they had COVID-19 protocol canceling their game against Indian Springs this week. And then, of course, they'll take on Cathedral City in 2 weeks. See if we can get an update on Yucca Valley. We see if they've got a game going on right now. Yucca Valley's playing Canyon Springs, and we do not have a feed on that game. So, again, sorry, just trying to get you guys some updates here on some of the games going on around the Coachella Valley. Again, if you're just joining us, Coachella Valley up on La Quinta. Last we checked, it was 20-14. Desert Christian at the half, 7-0 over Desert Mirage. Some defensive turnovers, forced turnovers late in the second quarter has got that game pretty much at a standstill. Desert Christian getting an early touchdown in that game. Eisenhower and Palm Springs, tightly contested game, hard-hitting game, 13-7 in that game. We mentioned also Palm Desert up 6-0 on Central. Aquinas up on Xavier 15-6. Talkwitz 24, Rancho Mirage 21, Paris and DHS 14-8. Paris with the lead. And like I said, we don't have any other updates on 29 Palms or Yucca Valley, so we'll keep you posted on that. Again, we were hoping to be joined by Mr. Weber, but hey, want to say thank you everybody for commenting and sending some posts. If you guys if you have any questions, shoot me a comment in the comment section below. If you're watching us on Facebook, hit the comment section down there on the bottom. If you're on YouTube, same thing, and hit us up on Twitter. I've got the old Twitter loaded up right here on the phone. I'll be looking for those hashtags. Hit us up at prepsports_net and hit the hashtag DSEF halftime. Just trying to keep an eye on the games going on. Take a live look in back here on the big board here. La Quinta and Coachella Valley look to be going. I thought they were walking towards the locker room, but it looks like they are still battling it out in that game. So no update on the score. Looks like Coachella is getting ready to kick off. So I wonder if they scored again here, and we'll get you an update on that game. I tell you one thing, this was a shocker last week. Coachella suffering a massive loss against Palo Verde. It was Palo Verde Valley, and looked to be bouncing back. You know, it was just a few years ago that Coachella beat La Quinta for the first time. Not only did they beat him, but they beat him at home, at La Quinta is what I meant to say. And it looks like the mighty Arabs looking to do the same thing and kind of right their season after a rough game last Friday night. Again, if you're just joining us, game's gone final already. Last night, Shadow Hills on the road loses 35-0. Cathedral City on a bye week. No game scheduled for Saturday, which is good. Give these kids a great weekend off. It's a holiday weekend. And we do have one cancellation. The Indio game canceled due to COVID protocols. Yes, we still do have those in the state of California. And just kind of oddly kind of a quiet Friday night, and not much to kind of go over. Want to say thank you guys for sticking with us. We'll see if there's anything that kind of comes up here, as it looks like La Quinta, that game has gone. Now that game has gone to the half, and we're waiting for the official. I want to say it's 27-14, but I'm going to wait for the Desert Sun to update their score here in just a couple of moments here. So they're still showing it's 20-14. Good to see the La Quinta Blackhawks having a turnaround year. You know that they're under a new head coach. Yucca Valley, there we go. Got an update on the Yucca Valley game for you. Keeping track at home, the Trojans lead Canyon Springs 14-7. That game has now gone to the half, so that's good to know. Get these games over with quickly. Get some of these kids home for the holiday weekend and get out of this heat. To show you really and truly the importance of how scary kind of this heat warning is here in California. The governor issued a state of emergency actually earlier this week. I saw as football season will kicked off, I think earlier today for the NCAA, but we're going to see USC kick off with their new head coach Lincoln Riley tomorrow. The Trojan marching band will actually not be in their traditional uniforms tomorrow because of the heat advisory. They're going to be in just regular, probably just what they call prep wear. So they'll probably be just USC Trojans t-shirts, but they expect it to be 99 degrees at kickoff tomorrow afternoon as the Trojans get set to take on Rice University. And they're saying that the field temperatures could be in the triple digits when that game kicks off. I don't know why they just don't move the game to the evening. I don't think, well, I know that the Dodgers are playing and they're playing against the Padres all weekend. And so that could make for a very busy night. So let's take a look real quick one more time before we wrap things up here on a Friday night. Don't forget, we will be back here. As of right now, we will be back here in the studio next Friday night. I might be out in Thermal for the Desert Mirage Indio game as Desert Valley League action opens up. We'll see where Mr. Weber will be. Again, you can follow Sean Webb. I said Mr. Weber. Where Sean Webb will be, Mr. Webb will be. You can follow him at Desert Weber on Twitter and get more information about the Desert Sands Educational Foundation. They've got some great fundraisers coming up this year. I had a chance last school year to attend the Desert Sands Educational Foundation Express. A lot of fun. Met some wonderful people at that event. And if you have a chance to attend a Desert Sands Educational Foundation event, I highly recommend it, or make a donation to Desert Sands Educational Foundation. Again, you can head over to Sean's Twitter handle there, or you could just Google up Desert Sands Educational Foundation and find out how you can be involved. A lot of great things come out of this. Helping the Cam Fest, which is a big musical performance, and I know that it's been down the last couple of years. Starting musical programs on elementary schools, helping high schools. I know that I believe Sean was telling me that I think the Educational Foundation has assisted some of the academies at these different high schools. Like, for example, La Quinta High School has the Culinary Academy. Just a lot of wonderful things. I think they supplied something. What did someone tell me last year? And I want to be 100% accurate, but I thought someone told me that there was a school that didn't have PE uniforms, and that the Educational Foundation supplied PE uniforms or PE equipment, soccer goals and soccer balls and stuff like that. So really cool what the Educational Foundation does. And just again, Great program. Hello, everybody from CoachellaValley.com. Glad you guys could join us. Sending some love. Thank you, Lola, for the love on Facebook. Thank you, Adon, Ray and Linda, Betty Ann, Cass, Ray, Bernardo. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe. You know, you hear it all the time. If you're on YouTube, hit us up. Prep Sportsnet on YouTube. Voice of Reason 23 on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, you want to watch it on Facebook Watch. You can even watch it on your big screen. I'm watching it right here. I'm watching the National Federation of High School Sports Network. I can't be out at the games tonight because it's just too darn hot. And I'm watching the games live here. Really cool program. By the way, I was correct in saying this. Like CV right there before the buzzer goes up 26 to 14. I got that backwards, didn't I? I have the scores inverted. I am a dummy. I can't even get my own little ESPN bottom line ticker there going correctly. 26-14 in favor of the Arabs. Aaron Ramirez with 204 yards rushing already in the first half of that game. And just what an unbelievable game. The big play we talked about in the Desert Mirage game, as those games, looks like that game's going back to the third quarter now. Leo Felipe with the fumble recovery, forces the fumble and recovers it right before halftime to keep the Conquerors out of the end zone to potentially go up 14-0 in that game. By the way, congratulations to the Desert Mirage Rams. Big win last week. First time in, what they say, like 3 or 4 years that they've won a game. And just really cool. It ended a 21-game losing streak for the Rams. And so just a great job. Again, I'm Kevin Pillow at Prep Sports _net. That's the name of the show. You can also follow me on all social media platforms. Hit me up, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you named it, Snapchat. I don't have TikTok. Don't even try to look at me up there. At Voice of Reason 23 is the social media handle. And if I can get a cheap plug in, I'll do so. I do a wonderful podcast also called PS Comics I Love You, and you can listen to it and watch it live on Facebook and YouTube by searching out PS Comics I Love You and Voice of Reason 23. We talk about all kinds of movie, music, news, video games, all kinds of stuff. It's all based loosely here in the Coachella Valley, the pop culture stuff going on here in the Coachella Valley. But we talk about Marvel stuff, Star Wars, and all that kind of stuff too. So speaking of Star Wars, what a wonderful night last week it was as we paid homage to Hunter Lopez. Of course, I was out at Indio High School, couldn't attend the lightsaber vigil, but Mr. Webb, Sean Webb, sent me plenty of videos and photos from the event last week, and it was emotional. It was great. I love the outpouring of support from the city of La Quinta and the greater Coachella Valley for Hunter and his family and the legacy that he left behind, literally and truly giving his life in the literal sense for others. And that is not only a hero's way, but it is the Jedi way. And I know that people will laugh and say that the Jedi, it's just a made up thing. But I think that the made up thing, I think that Hunter epitomized what it means to be a Jedi. And I think it's the best way to end this halftime show. Of course, take a look at that bottom ticker there. If you're hopefully your team is winning. But I think there's no better way to say than once again, thank you to Corporal Hunter Lopez of Indio and La Quinta High School for a job well done, and thank you for serving our country. And I'll end with this to him and his family. I think there's no better fitting tribute than to say, "May the Force be with you." Good night, everybody. We will see you next week for more of the Desert Sands Educational Foundation halftime show every single Friday night right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course our friends at CoachellaValley.com. Good night, everybody. For those of you just joining us, we just ended the halftime show, but this is a live look into the kickoff of the third quarter. Um, we are trying to confirm the score that you are seeing there in Xavier at Aquinas. Um, right now, we're being told by the Desert Sun that the game is 21-6 between Xavier Prep and Aquinas. That game now has officially kicked off the third quarter. So again, a live look in real quick. Again, for those who are joining us, some games have started to go to halftime around the Coachella Valley. We just finished the halftime show officially, but we just decided to do a quick live look in on this game. And again, we're trying to confirm that score as opposed to what is being reported by the Desert Sun. So, and also, real quick, an update. Also, games that have gone back to action in the third quarter. Desert Mirage has jumped out, and they have scored. Um, Leo Felipe, I believe is the young man's name, on a 41-yard romp, takes it to the house, and it now is a 7-6 ball game between the Conquerors and the Rams. So again, we're trying to confirm the accuracy of this game. So again, that's what we're seeing right now. So going to get some confirmation on this game, but have a live look in at the start of the third quarter here between Aquinas and Xavier Prep. Okay, we can confirm, according to maxpreps.com, that the score that you see there on the screen is inaccurate. The Aquinas leads Xavier Prep 21-6 as that game has just started in the third quarter. So again, disregard the bottom lines, the score that you're seeing there. As that is an inaccurate score for Xavier Prep. Again, I'm Kevin Pillow, just doing a live drop in real quick, and we'll try to get you some more updates as other games go to halftime. I want to thank you, everyone who has chimed in here. Want to say welcome now to our friends from Desert Hot Springs. They have now officially gone to the half, and that game is all Paris High School right now. That game is 21-8 at the half. And again, if you're just joining us, the we have one cancellation tonight. That was Indio against Indian Springs. That will close out their non-league season at 0-2, losing to Shadow Hills, and then last week against Hemet. They're hoping to get a win before heading into the league next week against Desert Mirage. They don't. This game will not count win or loss for the Rajas. I don't quote me on that, but I'm almost positive that's how they're going to run it again this year. So, yeah. So again, yeah, just want to confirm. According to Max Preps, it's 21-6 in favor of Aquinas. That game is just underway. Again, real quick, a live look in at the La Quinta Coachella Valley game here starting in the third quarter. As we will end this stream here in just a moment, give you kind of a one last look at the bottom line scores. Again, Paris and Desert Hot Springs still at the half. I want to say thank you to our Golden Eagle fans for listening in. All the rest of the game seem to have gone to the third quarter. We don't know anything about 29 Palms yet in that game. Trying to get some updates for you. I know that some of you have been asking for a continuation of updates throughout the game. I don't have the ability to do that. We have so much bandwidth and stuff like that. It's an old IT issue, whatever. But I wish we could do that, but we just don't have the ability to stay streaming here for the rest of the night. I wish we could. We do have a final also from the DVL. Take a look at this game. It did not. Why is that? There we go. Here. The Banning Broncos, who are also a part of the DVL, lost last night 41-12. Again, that game was last night. So I'll add that to our bottom line ticker here. I think a lot of people forget that Banning is a part of the DVL, and again, going to show you that West Valley and that Hemet area very, very strong in the up the hill this year, and we mentioned the. I spoke with one of the coaches last week, and he kind of let us know that this was going to be a big year for that area. So again, Banning with the loss last night, forgot to post that score. Thank you to the reporter from Max Preps who sent us that score and that link. So thank you so much. And so with that said, we are going to end the stream here in just a moment, as all the games have now gone into the third quarter, including the Desert Hot Springs game, which was the last game late to do so. And with that said, actually, the Golden Eagles have gotten on the board again and have got within striking distance of Paris High School. So we'll keep an eye on that game, as it was 21-8 at the half. And now to start the third quarter, it is 21-16 Paris. So the Golden Eagles within striking distance of Paris High School. So keep an eye on that game. Thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate the support. I know that Sean does as well. And again, if you want to, hit him up on Twitter at Desert Weber. And of course, you can always support the Desert Sands Educational Foundation by searching that out online. And again, support these young men and women that are out there playing football every single night under those Friday night lights. I'm Kevin Pillow, again at PrepSports_net, as well as Voice of Reason 23. And we will be back here next Friday night, those Friday night lights, for the Desert Sands Educational Foundation halftime show. Thanks, guys.